We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. Come to the light.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. I still love that intro, no matter how many times I see it and I hear it play. It's just something about the music. But I got to figure out a way to listen to more of that song, be able to play more of it. So I'm your host, Zan. And if you're watching from wherever, you can be in town, you can be out of town, wherever you're watching from, I'm glad that you're here because tonight we got a special topic, and I like the special topic. Okay, we're talking about something that every one of us experiences. Every one of us. Yeah, whether we live somewhere for 6 months or whether we live somewhere for 6 years. Let me move my mic a little closer here. I think I'm fine though. So I hope everybody's doing good. There I go, glitching in and out. Okay, what we're going to talk about tonight, and I hope you guys will tune in and respond because you have to give me your opinion, how you feel, what makes a community feel like home. That's what we need to know. Is it the parks? Is it the schools? Is it the restaurant? Or is it the people? I'll give you guys a chance to answer that while I pull up something here for you. So, is it the parks? What makes a community feel like home? Is it the schools? The restaurant? Or do you think it's the people? I think it's the people. I think it's the people. So tonight, I'd love for you to join the conversation as we go through tonight's discussion. Leave your thoughts in the comments. And before we get started, let me check and see, because if somebody make a comment, I want to see it. Hey, real life. It's Miss Steph from Real Life. Topics always tuning in. She always support. And Stephanie said it takes a village. And she is so right. It can't just be um, one person um, left up to everybody to take care of everything and run everything. It takes a village. It takes all of us. That's what we used to have. We used to have that. So okay, let's get started on some things. Keep them comments coming so I don't feel like I'm alone. I will check over here if you see me checking off to the side. I'm not drifting off to sleep. Let's check in some comments here. All right, let's get started. Home is more than an address. You know that, right? A house give us shelter, but a home give us belonging. Many people have lived in beautiful neighborhoods, but never felt connected. They always felt separated to a sense, whether it was because of their environment, the type of living environment they were in, were they more secluded from people, from the rest of the world? Some people live like that. They like living in seclusion. So only time they get to interact with people is when they go out, and then they go on outside of their community because they don't have anyone close that they can reach out as far as the community. Others, they live in modest neighborhoods, and they wouldn't trade them for anything because of the people around them. Have you ever been in a situation like that? You were living in a modest neighborhood and you wouldn't trade that for anything in the world because of the people. So, what creates that feeling? Do you guys know? What creates that feeling? What creates that feeling that make you feel like your community is home? I believe it starts with relationships with people, not just relationships with a spouse or significant other. It starts with relationships with other people. Have you had a neighbor shovel your walk, check on you during a storm, or simply wave, hey, morning? I can say for my neighbors, some, yeah, some not so much. Some, I wish things were smoother than they were, but they're not, and that's just purely their choice. But I'm always speak and talk and say a few words and keep it moving. But then I have the neighbors that when they see me, they wave and talk and might chat for a minute, or they'll come over and they find out I'm doing something, they'll come over and here's something, or let me buy this from you. So it just all depends. They're good neighbors, I guess, and then there's not so good neighbors. Okay, those moments matter though. What is one thing, excuse me, about your community that makes you smile? Is there anything about your community that makes you smile? What is one thing, just one, about your community that makes you smile? Hmm, I'm still thinking. I can say one thing to make me smile about my community is when I see us get together and we come together, whether it's at an event or whatever, that we come together. That's always important. We're divided a lot, and that's not just here in our town, that's a lot of places. You have certain divisions and certain cliques and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. All right. So, let's go on to the people behind the community. Community is made up of people, it's not made up of just objects and buildings and all that stuff. It's made up of people. Communities, they don't build themselves. It took someone to build, someone to put it together, someone to plan, and then just magically appear. So, communities don't build themselves, people build communities. And in my opinion, people are the communities. That's that's the community right there. Anybody agree? People are the community. Yes. People build communities. The teachers and police officers and firefighters and nurses and pastors, volunteers, parents, grandparents, young people, every person contributes in their only special way. Is their special way because you have your talent, somebody else have their own. We don't all share the same talent, and some of us do share the same talent, but it's okay if we don't. because we're all different. We all have different interests. So every person you think about, thank you, Mr. Motorcycle Man. He'll be back, I'm sure. Every person contributes something. Everybody, grandparents, parents, volunteers, young people, again, every person. Sometimes the biggest difference comes from people nobody ever hear about. Some people done some wonderful things, nobody even hear about them. Why? It just don't come up, I guess. Just don't come up. All right. So take a moment tonight to think about someone who quietly makes your community better, because I want to hear about it. I don't know about everybody in my community. I wasn't born and raised here, but I've been here so many years. So this is my community. I am passionate about it, even though I wasn't born and raised here. So, but think about someone, just one person that quietly makes your community better. They don't have to be out there loud boasting. Is anybody in your community do things and quietly, I don't mean quiet, never say anything about it, but I mean they're not given have an advantage that they can just nationally advertise and all the time. So they do things, but they do it quietly. All right, I'll let you think on that. So local businesses are more than just places to shop. Mhm. They sponsor youth sports, they donate prizes, some support nonprofits. hmm Local businesses hire local people when they can. They rather have someone here in the community than have to worry about if you're going to make it to where they are. So they hire local people. Many small businesses, and I've witnessed this many times myself. Many small businesses, they know people by their name. You go in those small towns and you walk in certain stores and people, hey, Johnny, hey, Frank, hey, so and so, hey, this. They know, but when you're in like the bigger cities and everything, unless you're related to that person or know that person personally, they don't know you. They don't know your name either. So local businesses in small businesses, they know their customers by name because that's important to them too. When we support them, you know what? We're investing in our own neighborhoods. When you support your local businesses, you know, I'm not talking about these big giant retailers who doing well anyway. I'm talking about these small businesses, these small restaurants. They don't have to have a million restaurants. They can have one. That's enough. Small businesses, restaurants, stores, mechanic shops, whatever, lawn and garden care businesses. There's so many small businesses and they need our support. I just told you who don't need our support is the big ones who's gonna make it anyway and been making it anyway. But the small businesses need our support, especially if you're in a small town. Come on now, come on. If you're in a small town, yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Because you're investing in your own neighborhood, right? You want your neighborhood to thrive. You want your neighborhood to do well. So you investing in your own neighborhood. You don't want to tear down your neighborhood. You don't want to throw trash all over and make it filthy and I hope not because this is where you're living. Okay, I got a question. Anybody got a favorite locally owned business? Do you have a favorite locally owned business? If you do, you can leave it in the comments. Go ahead and drop that in there. It'll stay in there and people will see it and they'll get a chance to respond to it. So if you start, they'll join you. Okay? Go ahead. What's your favorite locally owned business? Your favorite locally owned business. I can say not a whole lot of choices here, but I have ones that favor and I love, like I love Union Dairy. Oh, yes, black walnut ice cream, pecan ice cream. But the twist on that is once I started making my own homemade ice cream, I learned how to do different flavors. So I make my own and I keep some ice cream in the freezer. So whenever I want some, I go out there and I pull out a cup and I'll have like yesterday. I made me a nice little sundae and put me a miniature Oreo cookie on top. Oh, I thought I was doing something then. But anyway, that's one of my favorite. Do you have any locally favorite owned business in your community? Because I don't know where yet. Give them a shout out if you do in the comments. You never know. Somebody might see your comment and know their business and I love another locally owned business here. I love the Boys and Girls Club. They do so much for our youth in the community. The community have a place. I mean, the youth have a place to go, to play sports, to learn, to go on field trips, to do all kinds of stuff. So that's my number one. Even though I love my ice cream, that's my number one. It's Freeport Boys and Girls Club. Because when I'm in there, all I see is a bunch of happy youth, and I just remember to jump out the way so I don't get ran over because they come through there. And special shout out while we thinking about the Boys and Girls Club for the one-on-one, the basketball games that they have going on there now. And shout out to Operation Love Freeport team. Oh, you came through on your first game. I mean, you did amazing. And I was proud to sit there and watch a team and proud to see you guys wear our shirts. Well, have shirts made up with our logo and our colors and everything. That was awesome. So next time I get to get some pictures and find out when the next game. So let's get back. Don't forget to shout those businesses out, you guys. Okay. Nonprofits and volunteers. Communities become stronger because people they choose to serve them. You can choose to serve your community or not choose to serve it. And then you can decide, am I helping or hurting my community by my actions? Okay? Communities become stronger because people choose to serve, not get forced. People choose to serve. Food pantries, animal shelters, senior programs, youth organizations, like I just mentioned, church ministries, neighborhood cleanups. Yes, and High Hope Freeport has been doing amazing job doing some neighborhood cleanup. So let's take a short break right here. It's a good time where we right here, and I mentioned about community cleanup, so I can read a couple of community announcements. Remember, it's all about community. I want to read a couple announcements from our community to let you guys know what's going on and what's not going on, because when there are changes, I like to keep you guys informed so you don't say, well, I don't know. Well, now you know. And you only know if you follow Voices and Views Productions. You guys, so don't just watch. Make sure you subscribe and follow because it's free. All right. Now, High Hope Freeport, their annual second annual 40 days peace. They were supposed to have a 3-day event this coming weekend, Friday, July 17th, 18th, and 19th. That has been canceled due to the extreme heat because it's been hotter than, I won't say the comment I usually say, but it's been hot, dry, and hot. So that makes sense because they do go and they clean up the neighborhood, the block, and it'll be in a lot of those people they help sometimes as senior citizens and kids. So they don't need to be out there in that humid and that humidity and that heat, and that wouldn't be good. And also the resource block party, that's canceled also. The all 3 days are canceled. And that was going to be Saturday the 18th from 1 to 4. And Operation Love was going to participate. We were going to play something called food games, where we made a fun way to give people food and the people would get to select their food. So we'll have to do that another time. But anyone that's looking for some non perishable foods, feel free to reach out to Operation Love Freeport. Inbox me on our page on Facebook. However, you must pick up because I don't do delivery. Okay, so High Hope Freeport. Remember, the 3-day event is canceled due to the heat. If it get rescheduled, they'll let you know. Otherwise, August 14th, 15th, and 16th at Knowlton Square looks like it's the next time that they will get together. Now, community movie night. Okay, and this, see, at the King Community Campus, Boys and Girls Club, I call it. Community movie night. The movie title is G20, and I can say I don't know all what it's about, but I did check it out. I just pulled it up to see what it looked like, and it looked like it's a very interesting movie. I will be there. I like movie nights. I used to give them for the senior citizens. Okay, so that is the featured movie title G20. They'll be showing it Saturday, July 25th at 8 p.m. at the King Community Campus parking lot, 511 South Liberty. And listen on, you got to bring a chair, your snacks, and the family. They're going to provide the popcorn and the water. If it's raining, it's going to be changed to August 1st. So, sounds like this is an outdoor movie event. That's cool. I miss going to drive-in theaters. So, you guys going out and check. Be prepared Saturday the 25th at 8 p.m. And go check out a movie. Don't forget your chair and your snacks and bring somebody with you. All right, another announcement. Golden Days Picnic and Bingo. And this is sponsored by Operation Love Report. And this is celebrating all our seniors in the community. You know, we need to love upon our seniors sometimes a little bit more. And so, with Operation Love Freeport, their mission is to serve and to nurture and help take care of those seniors. And we do that by delivering and mostly now by sponsoring events to open it up to more seniors. So this is the Golden Days Picnic and Bingo. It's a fun day of food, friends, and prizes. Saturday, August 15th, write it down. 11 to 3 p.m. at the Freeport Public Library, 100 East Douglas Street, Freeport, Illinois, 61032. Now, this is for seniors ages 65 plus. We want those elderly seniors to be able to come out if they can and enjoy and have something with like minded seniors are there with them and they can enjoy some bingo. We bingo prizes. You know, when they bingo, they will be winning prizes. And it's no cost. It's a free event, free admission. But however, the seating is limited. It's limited. It's at the Freeport Public Library. So the seating is limited. Please reserve your seat by calling or texting Operation Love Freeport at 815-275-5468. That's 815-275-5468. And the reservations are accepted until all the seats are filled. So it is kind of a first come, first serve. Once it's filled up to that amount that we decided on, that's it. So come enjoy a beautiful day filled with laughter, good food, good company, and bingo. The Colors of Hope Cancer Awareness and Fundraising event. That's going to be at the Masonic Temple on Saturday, October 3rd at 6 p.m., you guys. At 6 p.m. Support, strengthen, together we can. A donation of $35 they're asking. Your support make a difference. For tickets or for more information, contact Tiffany Harris, 815-238-9643. Susie Yules, 815-238-5216. Jerry Harris, 815-541-7568, or Romeo Stedman, 815-908-6277. It says more details to come, but this is sponsored by Push and the Men of Change. So come out and support this great event, you guys. The Cancer Awareness and Fundraising event. One last announcement here, Operation Love Freeport. Always looking for volunteers and donations. You can always visit our page on Facebook, offering food when we have it available and clothes. So I am the founder CEO of Operation Love Freeport, and I can say the community has been really coming forth. So, okay. Let's get back in and roll a little bit more. Roll a little bit more. hmm And you know what? There are so many ways people quietly help every day. You might not know it, but they do little things to help. Volunteers don't always wear capes like super volunteer, here I am. They don't always wear capes. Sometimes they just wear work boots, tennis shoes, whatever make their feet comfortable for the job they're gonna do. Sometimes they wear aprons, and sometimes they just show up. Hey, where can I help? What can I do? There's a lot of people out there like that to volunteer. They don't have to have a certain job in mind. They'll show up and say, hey, where you need help at? So that's good. Okay. Why youth matters. Hmm. Young people are watching everything we do, and I do mean everything. You think they're not watching you? They're watching us. Everything we do, when you think they're not watching you, they're watching you. You just haven't caught them watching you. They're checking you out. They're checking out how you move, what you do, what you say, what you don't tell the truth about, what you get twisted up in, what you come back on. They watching and listening. So they learn kindness from us. Okay? They could learn respect from us. They learn service, how to serve their community and others. They learn that from us. They learn how to be leaders. They learn leadership from us, right? At least they're supposed to. If we want stronger communities tomorrow, we have to make sure these things are there, available to them. We have to invest in today's youth. Have to. It ain't no if and but, maybe it can. If we better, we have to invest in them to make sure they on the right path and to make sure they are good. Mentoring one child can change an entire family. Just one. If just take one child up under your wing, don't have to be a relative. We always like to get ones we're familiar with and all that. Just get a child that you can mentor and maybe spend a day here and there with, going somewhere and just be with them and talk to them. It'll make a difference because no community is perfect. This community isn't perfect. I don't know too many communities are perfect. I know there might be other communities say that's better, but no community is perfect. Every town has struggles. Every town has crime. Every town has loneliness, mental health, economic challenges, housing, food insecurity. Every town has that. So it's not just seen in our town. We see it because we're here in our town. We see certain things and all of these things. But it's not just in our town, it's everywhere. Communities grow stronger when people work together instead of giving up. That's how we grow stronger. We work together. We don't say, I'm done. I can't. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep wanting what's right. We have to keep demanding what's right because this is our community. We living in it. Unless you plan on leaving, then you'll be in another community. Then you can be worried about them concerns. But you have to play a part. You have to play a part. When people work together, we'll be a lot stronger than separated. Because you have less players, few here, few there. And that's kind of what I feel about a lot of the churches in different towns. They have a million churches. Church here, here, here on the corner, here, here, here. 5 members, 5 members, 5 members, 6 members. Why? Why not have one church? Everybody come together. Why is it necessary to have all this division and have a handful here, handful there, handful there? I would like that question answered. So if you guys can think of something, answer it. If you don't answer now, make sure you leave it in the comments. Leave it in the comments. Because one person can make a difference. Just one. One. Sometimes people think, I'm only one person. I can't do this. One person can do a lot. One person can make a difference. Hmm. History proves otherwise. One volunteer starts a food pantry. One teacher changes a student's future. And that happens a lot more than we hear about. One neighbor checks on another to make sure they're okay. And one little act of kindness, they can cause a chain reaction. Chain reaction. Be surprised. Never underestimate what one caring person can accomplish. Never underestimate it. One caring person can accomplish a lot. So, what kind of community do we want then? What kind of community? I'm going to bring this back again and put together a panel of people from the community and have them join me in here live and to answer some of these questions. Yes, you can answer in the comments, but I'm going to put a panel together and bring some people back, and then we can answer some questions and get their views because this is Voices and Views. All right, what kind of community then do we want? I want one that's caring, I want one that's fair, I want one that's thriving, I want one that considered that has plenty things in play here, not just events, have buildings and places that our youth can go for enjoyment. I want a lot of places where that's accessible to seniors and for seniors. So, I want the crime rate reduced. I want all gone. I want all of that really, really hit hard. I want a lot of things. And if you're living in a community, you should want a lot of things too. You should want a lot of things. So imagine if everyone watching just tonight just chose one act of kindness this week. I'm not saying tomorrow, just anytime this week. You still got a couple of days left in this week. So what would happen? Imagine if every neighborhood welcomed when they saw new families coming in. I was thinking about my neighborhood when I moved in. I got more stairs and watching me, and people all of a sudden coming out on their front lawn, staring me down. I got all of that, not so much as any interactions for a long time. What would happen though? What would happen? Imagine if more people just volunteer for different people, not the same organizations. Go volunteer for different people, move around. I do that sometimes, volunteer here, volunteer there, and been amazed because then I get to find out more about these organizations and stuff. Okay? Imagine if more people simply just smiled at each other more with no reason. Just gave them a smile. If you didn't, you can't speak or they want to speak or whatever the situation is. But if you just give them a smile, that might just make their day and you don't even know it. And all you did was smile. That would be awesome. Communities don't become better by accident, you guys. It takes work. It takes people coming together. Together. Not separate, but together. They become better communities by intention, not by accident. Somebody wanted this to happen. Somebody wanted things to be better. So here it is. Let me close this back out here. There we go. All right. Audience, now it's time to hear from you. As soon as I moved away from the comments, but they'll pop up. It's time to hear from you. I am gonna be reading the comments over here. That's what's switched over. And I can see when you have comments. But if you're not commenting, if you're not live, if you're gonna catch it later, still respond. Please, it's still important. I will look at those comments. I will look at all of those comments as they come in. I get alerts. So, here's some questions that you can answer in the comments section, please. What makes your town special? Don't matter where you're at. What makes your town special? Who deserves recognition? Somebody. What would you like to see improved in your community? This should get a lot of discussion. So let's not be quiet on any of this. What keeps you hopeful, though, about your community? What keeps you hopeful? So take your time. Take your time responding, but please respond when you can. All right? So I'm going to play a commercial break and then we're going to come back. I have a couple more last segment and then we're going to wrap up the show. So let's go check out our commercial.
Voices and Views Productions is officially sponsored by Zan's Celebration Popcorn. Handcrafted with love in small batches, every single bag is a celebration. We now feature 11 delicious, sweet, and crunchy flavors, including our newest additions, pink cream and pink lemonade. Try them today with our $1 sample bags. To order, call or text us at 815-275-5468 or pay with ease on Cash App at hashtag ZandraBright1.
All right, let me get back to where I need to be. All right, it's a little celebration popcorn commercial. I'm still making popcorn, but I had to stop. It was so hot. People wanted ice cream, so I started making homemade ice cream. But Celebration Popcorn is one of our sponsors, so we have to play it. All right, so the questions were once again, I'm going to run through them and tell them to you. What makes your town special? I want you to answer that. Who deserves recognition? What would you like to see improve? And what keeps you hopeful about your community? What keeps you hopeful? It has to be something that keeps you hopeful. So, as we close tonight, I want you to think about those things deeply because they're relating to your community where you live. And everybody has the right to express their view and express their opinion using their voice. Remember this, communities aren't built by buildings. They're built by people. People build communities. People feel communities. People rebuild communities. People tear down communities. The buildings, the communities just don't appear. People do that. So, they're built by people and they're built by kindness. They're built by generosity. People helping, tipping in. Hey, I can help you here. I can't physically do this, but I can donate this. I can give you this. That's a way to help. People help, they built, I'm sorry, by compassion. Communities are built by compassion. You gotta have care. If you don't, you won't bother. They're built by volunteers. Yeah, it's a lot of volunteers around here that's not in the workforce, but they're volunteering and they're helping to keep some of these companies going, some of these organizations, and some of these business going. I know I'm thankful for any time anybody volunteers. And they're built by neighbors, you know. They're built by neighbors. They're built by ordinary people who choose to do extraordinary things, though. Every smile matters and counts. Every helping hand matters, even if it's a little helping hand. Go help somebody. Every encouraging word matters. Hey, you look good today. Well, you did a great job on that. I don't like the way you did that. Every encouraging word matters. And every one of us has the ability to make our community feel a little bit more like home, comfortable, warm, respected. It's up to us. So, thank you so much, you guys, for spending your evening with me. I truly appreciate every one of you who tuned in and joined the conversation. And I'm thankful for the ones who's going to comment later. I will be looking forward to reading those comments that you guys post. And if tonight's discussion meant something to you, please, you guys, like, share, and follow Voices and Views Productions LLC so you don't miss when we have future shows. You'll always be informed, and your support will mean a lot to us. And so until next time, you don't have to change the whole world. Mm-mm. Sometimes changing one person's day is enough to start changing a community. Thank you again for joining me. I'm Zan, and this has been Voices and Views Productions LLC. Good night, you guys. Good night.
We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. We gon' talk about some things tonight. Got a tea in a glass with ice. We got voices, we got views tonight. We got voices, we got views tonight. Come to the light.
I love that, love that, love that, love that. Good night, everyone.